My name is Willis George Culpepper, and this is another edition of the show, What's Next? This afternoon, we're going to do something different because we're dedicating the show to our newly elected President-elect Barack Obama. Now, we have on our show a singer, songwriter, recording artist who has penned a song and recorded it specifically for our newly elected president. And we'll get to that in just a minute. First, I want to tell you a little bit about our guest this afternoon. Her name is Juanita Craft. And I don't know whether you've heard her song. I know many people around the world, down the United States, I know, have heard the song that we're going to introduce to you tonight. But it's been very well received. But Miss Craft is a woman that has soul, and the one that you're about to meet. The singer-songwriter has so many attributes, you might believe that she is a superstar. Now, like most people, Juanita identifies with struggle, but understands and accepts success. In fact, she has used her past challenges to create inspirational lyrics on her new CD. She discovers ways to give others hope in the midst of some of the common challenges. Now, we want to meet right now our guest this afternoon, Miss Juanita Craft. Juanita, how are you doing?
I'm good. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Now, Miss Craft, I just introduced you as a singer-songwriter. Would you tell our audience how long have you been singing?
Well, actually, I've been singing since I was 3. I grew up in Oklahoma City, and my sister and I would sing at different churches and so forth, all the while I was growing up. And I've always sung in some church choir, sung in Spelman College Glee Club. I am currently singing with at the Ben Hill United Methodist Church Majestic Choir, where I've been there for a number of years. And I just sing everywhere. Honestly, I've just been singing all of my life.
Well, that is, and you have let us know that, like most artists, started your career at a young age in the church.
That's correct.
As most artists have done in our time. Now, what are some of the things that you have recorded for us?
Well, actually, I started recording about 3 years ago after taking a songwriting class. And as I said, I've always sung, but I never had my own music. So I decided I wanted to learn how to write. And I wrote several songs and for my first CD, which is God Has a Plan for You. My very first song was titled God Has a Plan for You. Then I wrote another song, which is Come to Me, which actually is my interpretation of the sermon where Jesus walked across the water. Then I wrote God's Way is the Best Way, which basically is my story about how I came back to Christ after a period where I kind of didn't go to church, and I realized that I needed Jesus in my life. So that's what that song's about.
We all have those times.
Yes, basically everything on the CD is based on something that I went through in my life.
And I do have a copy of that CD here that says God Have a Plan for You, and you have many of those songs that you talked about now on this CD. Now, as you noted, many of those CDs have a purpose and a reason why you wrote the song and recorded the CD.
Right.
Where would the people be able to get the CD?
Well, actually, you can buy the CD, a hard copy of the CD, at cdbaby.com/Juanita Craft. That's JUANITACRAFT. However, you can buy individual songs on iTunes.
On iTunes.
Yes.
Okay. Would that be iTunes.com?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, as I also mentioned to our audience, that you had penned a song for our upcoming president, President-elect Barack Obama. And that has been played around the country on our network station, Hello World. And it has been received. It's been very well received. I do believe that we do have a copy of this, but I'd like for the audience to get to hear what it is about. We have a copy of your song as well as a video of the song. And we will get to that in just 1 minute. Anyway, the name of the song, and most of the people who have seen it on the web, on Hello World, helloworld.com, the song is A Champion and a Gentleman. That's the name of the song. That's the name of the CD. This is a single that you have done.
That's
right?
correct. Yes, a single.
Right. Okay. We're going to try to get the video.
He takes the high road when others hit with low blows. He takes the lint from his clothes and shakes the dust from his soles. He won't be drawn into groveling, for it helps the cause of the enemy. So we won't see his integrity and leadership ability. He chose his weapons carefully so that he can win respectably. An open book for all to see as a token of his honesty. He won our hearts fairly with his love, and his call is sent from the one above. He's a champion if there ever was, and also a gentleman. He's a champion and a gentleman. He's a champion and a gentleman. He's a champion and a gentleman. He's a champion.
Okay. I hope that we get an opportunity to see the video and to enjoy it. One of the things I'd like to ask you now, after viewing the video, what caused you to write this song? What gave you that inspiration?
Well, I'll say, like most people I know, I didn't really know a lot about Barack Obama. I was familiar with Hillary Clinton and the name and so forth. But once I heard him speak, I was just very impressed with the man, and he impressed me to be someone that has a heart, somebody that really cares about people. His intellect just really, he just made me feel like this is somebody that really cares about people. And then during the primaries, and there was a lot of negative publicity and so forth, and which bothered me, those type of tactics would be used against him. But
no, nobody thought he was going to win.
Well, they thought that that's what they needed to do to beat him.
Right.
And but what impressed me was that he never stooped to their level. He responded, but he never stooped to their level. And I said, this man doesn't have to grovel. He doesn't have to grovel to win, and he doesn't have to tear anybody else down to build himself up. And that really impressed me, and so that's why I said, you know, this man is really a gentleman, and so that's why I came up with the term. He's a champion and a gentleman.
One of the things I noticed too, that he never spoke negatively about anything.
No, he's just a positive, 100 positive man.
As much as people were talking about him and,
Right.
and giving him all the what for, he never spoke negative about any of it.
Right.
You know.
Not personal stuff. He talked about the issues, but not the
Right.
tried to tear the person down.
Right.
And that was very admirable to me. And I felt that, you know, he chose his weapons very, very carefully, and he wanted to win respectably, not to win at all costs.
Right.
And so forth, and you know, he did it, and he came out smelling like a rose.
But that's what made him a champion.
That's what makes him a champion.
Those
Yes.
attributes made him a champion. Now, the part about the gentleman aspect of it, you did explain why you thought of him as being a gentleman because of the manner he
Yes.
carried himself.
Yes.
The most of the time when you look at your video and listen to your song, most of the time we get the impression that we are closer to him. We know him more than what we do.
Yeah, we do.
Right. And was that an intention, or did you just creatively write the song to bring about that spirit or that feeling?
Well, I don't know why it came out that way. I mean, I was just inspired, and I just wrote from my heart. And maybe I do feel like I know him, and maybe most of us do feel like, and maybe that's why it came out the way that it did. I wasn't ever really trying to do anything other than just express my opinion of him, and the things that he has done, and the attitudes that I saw, as far as, you know, people being motivated, people donating money, people volunteering, things that they've never done before or ever wanted to do before. They wanted to do, and were glad to do it for this man.
And you captured the sincerity of the man, and you put it on in words on tape.
Right.
And we thank you so much for that. Now, tell us, what are some of your projects you got going in the future?
Well, I will continue to write. As I said, I'm a new writer, and I found that I love writing, and I'm constantly writing songs, and you know, my everyday experiences. I'm writing a song right now, and I don't want to say the title of it but I will say this: it relates to, you know, the economy and the things that we go through and the struggle that we go through. But we know every time, in my experience has been, every time I get into a situation and I don't know how I'm going to get out of it, it seems like God just he just rains down manna from heaven. So take that as a clue. And I'm excited about that song. And when I finish the words, and see, I don't have to write fast. I can take a while and write, because this is not what I necessarily do for a living. So I can take my time and write my songs and pick my words very, very carefully, so that they can say exactly what I want them to say and what I mean. So I'm taking my time in writing my songs. So I have several upcoming.
From hearing your songs, I do appreciate the fact that you take your time and write your songs, because they are all very, very well received, as I know that the champion and a gentleman have been very well received around the country, and I do believe that it is told the story as it should have been told, and I also have listened to some of the songs you have on the CD. God Has a Plan for You, and those they're very well written.
Thank you.
Very well written, and they have a message there that I like. They're very well written. And anyway, those are the things that we like when we buy music, and we appreciate your music. tremendously so. Any, in closing, any words of encouragement you would like to give, or any things that you would like to say to our audience before we close?
Well, yes. Just want to say that, God has a plan for your life. And, once you find out what that thing is, then you need to do it. Do you? Don't worry about what people say, because people are going to say a lot of things, and they're going to tell you what you want to do and what you plan to do is not going to work. Sometimes they do. A lot of times they do. But just follow your heart and try to figure out what it is God wants you to do, because if you're doing what he wants you to do, you will have his favor. And he will bless you, and he will give you gifts that you never had before, just like he did for me. In my songwriting, I never wrote before, but once I said I wanted to write, he gave me that gift, gave me a new gift. So I just keep asking and claiming and speaking it into existence, and God keeps performing and keeps doing everything that he says. He fulfills his promises. And I just encourage you to do this, to take him at his word. Also, if you're interested in purchasing any of my songs, they are available. All of them are available on iTunes, and I just found that out today, and I'm very happy about that. But you can purchase a hard copy of either of the God Has a Plan for You